What's up guys, welcome back for another YgoPro duel video. The new Orphegel archetype is already on YgoPro, so let's try it out. The archetype on its own is superb, it's fantastic. Couple of monsters, couple of link monsters, a couple of spells, including a Destiny Draw field spell, so let's take a look, and then as always a few example games. First of all, they're regular monsters, all machine types by the way. So the level 4 one, the Diver, lets you special summon a monster from the deck, an Orphegel monster from the deck. The level 3 one special summons something from the grave, and the level 1 special summons an Orphegel from your hand. All three of them needs to be banished from the grave with their own effect to get their particular effect off. So that's where the link monsters come into play. Banishing machine types fuels your link monsters for the link 2, the link 3 and the link 4. The link 2 is, I mean, they are very similar to Palladion. The link 2 searches like any Orphegel spell or trap directly from your deck. That's definitely good. The level 3 one, the Longurus, I believe its name is, again, pop or send monsters from your opponent. Linked monsters, by the way, from your opponent to the graveyard by sending back 2 banished machine type monsters back to your deck, while the big guy, your Orchestrion, I believe its name is a big boss monster. At 1 it's fine. It also is all of 3 of them have like effects that they cannot be destroyed either by battle or by card effects if they are linked with other monsters. And your Orchestrion has both of them, so it cannot be destroyed by battle and by card effects if it's linked. And that's currently, of course, the support is quite early, but the first wave is excellent. But it needs other engines. Armageddonite, Destrudo, Lefty, Righty Driver are superb, since Needle Fiber is your MVP. Same for Summon Sorceress, which here is in the main deck. As for the West Sky Strikers as well, you just need that extra monster on the field to get your engine going, as you'll see in a couple of moments. Okay, so let's see a couple of example duels. Okay, so first example, let's just start off with the basic combination, right? And the basic combination needs pretty much two monsters, one of them being a tuner, of course getting off Needle Fiber. Sky Striker is the easiest way of getting, first of all, 2 monsters on the field, of course with Engage, etc. And having the tuner, either Destrudo, Lefty, Righty Driver as well. Of course, one of the level 1 Orphegel monsters is of course also a tuner. This lets you go for Summon Sorceress, where to start off, everything needs to be put to the left. That's important, with their co-links and their link markers pointing up, left, etc, etc. This is the basic standard combination you can go for with the Orchestron, their big boss monster, all the way in your extra monster zone, and then the both links to both lower Orphegel monsters linked to it, right? So get their effects off, like not being able to be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and in case of your big boss monster, your Orchestrion, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. With the field spell lets you use every monster here during your opponent's turn, including the link monster, so again, quite nifty, but is of course searchable off of your link 2. And yeah, I'm not really sure if I want to maximize the amount of field spells here in the main deck. Same for the Destiny Draw. The 2 spells here in my hand are double Destiny Draw. You can only use 1, by the way, once per turn, and you can send both, at least any monster on your side of the field, to the graveyard or from your hand to draw 2 cards. So any Orphegel monster, that is. There was also one of the new World Legacy monsters. I might put that card at 1 in the main deck, because you know, you can just discard it with your Destiny Draw, which is again searchable off of your link 2. But that's all up to you. Leaving Summon Sorcerers on the field might be like more threatening compared to going for like their boss monster, their Orchestrion. I mean, if they can't get rid of Summon Sorcerers, you can just, you know, just search any Orphegel monster from your deck and eventually use its grave effect as well. So Lefty and Righty Driver are excellent for the deck. I mean, just banish the blue one. It will set itself up in the graveyard, and then thanks to the link monsters, you can send any machine types that are banished back to the deck. And then, you know, fueling your Lefty and Righty Driver engine and just go from there, right? Get those searches with your Galaxy, I believe the name is, the link 2. Which searches the Destiny Draw, or the field spell, or the continuous spell. The continuous spell here in the middle, I think is okay. I mean, once per turn, when like your opponent summons a monster, you can Foolish Burl like an Orphegel monster from your deck, or, well, yeah, to the graveyard or to your banished pile. So pretty much fueling your Orphegel link monsters, by the way. So again, Summon Sorceress gets everything started. searching out their destiny draw, discarding something, hopefully drawing, you know, into hand traps, into some form of protection, right? Currently 42 cards in a main deck, which might be a bit too much. I definitely want to drop it down to 40, but finding some space is definitely hard, especially with the other engines like Armageddonite, Lefty, Righty Driver. They are definitely mandatory, same for Sky Strikers to get your engine going, but it's hard to drop 2 extra cards from the main deck, right? Call by the Grave is super staple, since this deck just gets murdered by hand traps. For example, Ghost Ogre on Summon Sorceress can already pretty much seal the deal for your opponent. The White Spirit is all fine, Borealo Dragon is definitely a threat. This is one of the first tools, as you will see in a couple of moments. So Armageddonite, again, I have tons of plays ready, if it wasn't for the fact that at this point of testing I was only running what is it called? Only running one Orphegel level 1, so no follow-up plays with the Summon Sorceress. Otherwise I would have had another follow-up play to again get my engine going, but that wasn't the case. So quickly after this one I added in a second copy of the level 1 Orphegel tuner. Again, some basic stuff, going for the first turn Summon Sorceress, getting the machine token, same stuff, right? Link Spider is needed, same for Link Karibo, since their Link monsters can only be made with effect monsters, so that's why you have to transform the tokens from either the Sky Strikers or of course your O-Lion token to Link monsters, right? Here again, I could have gone for the Link 4 Orchestrion, but I think again, same mindset, leave your Summon Sorceress on the field. I believe it's a bit more threatening, especially because I have an Ash Blossom in hand, and I believe an Impermanence set as well, so 2 forms of negation. So if the opponent is not able to get rid of the Summon Sorceress, I'm in a very good position. It doesn't, definitely, no, it's Impermanence, it's Called by the Grave, so banish the level 1 tuner, draw one of the drivers, again, excellent. Use Summon Sorceress, you're pretty much always going for the diver being the level 4, depending, of course, on the game situation. Refueling your cards, right, banish the level 4, set up your links. I mean, this deck is so good, and this is only the first wave of support. Then again, it's very easy to interrupt stuff, so hand traps, Impermanence from the opponent, a well-timed hand trap or Impermanence can definitely stop this deck in its tracks. So even though it has a lot of shenanigans going, it's still heavily reliant on, first of all, other engines, and I'm looking at Destrudo with Armageddonite, the Lefty Righty Driver if you want Sky Striker, some extra shenanigans, and yeah, but still, this is only the first wave, so we can definitely expect more support to eventually, you know, that you eventually can drop the other engines from your deck as well. So Lefty Righty Driver, excellent to get some extra banished machines here in your banished pile to make use of your Link monsters and some extra shenanigans, and this should be game, I think. Yep. So Longinus again. Longinus is good. I mean, with the field spell, you can just interrupt any of your opponent's plays. Well, if that particular monster is in a zone linked to a Link monster, that's something not to forget, right? Having the tuner here in hand just keeps the engine rolling, being the Destrudo. Again, same combinations, right? Needle Fiber MVP, same for Summon Sorceress, and that's why Summon Sorceress is at 2 here in the deck. There is a the well-timed Ghost Ogre, so no Call by the Grave, and that's definitely a problem, right? This is definitely, I think, one of the best tools I've had since weeks, as you will see in a couple of moments. So Link Karibo, just pretty much to hold my opponent off, since again, I believe it was due to the Destrudo, I'm super low on life points, and both the Destiny Draw here in my hand are dead, but I still have a chance, I guess. Drawing Diver, one of the best draws I could have had. Again, banish Diver to special summon something from the deck, so basically like a Lone Fire in some way. There is a Fog Blade, maybe a bit too early, since now I can just, you know, eventually go for Gelatia. I can't go for Fiber, since as soon as you're banished, at least use one of your Orphegel monsters in your graveyard, you can only special summon Darks for the rest of the turn. So again, that's something to keep in mind. But you know, very appropriately, both Boreaload and Boral Sword are also dark monsters, by the way. Go for Boreaload. somewhat dangerous play, since we know the opponent does have the tour guide, so there are definitely chances of him going for his own Borreload Dragon, and he's definitely going to do that. Well played on his part here. So going for double Borreload and the Summon Sorceress, and again I need to top deck. Then again I do the field spell so I can use the Orphegel monsters during my opponent's turn, use all of their effects. Sadly I can't go for the Search with, I believe, the level 4 Diver, which indeed gets Edge Blossomed, but getting the Galatea, the Link 2 on the field is super important. Here I make a small mistake. I should have left the third machine here in my banished pile, so I can eventually, as you're seeing here, go for the Orchestrion and then use its effect and then make like all of his linked monsters, like both Borreload, all at 0 attack, negate their effects, but luckily I can correct the mistake by going for Boral Sword and get lucky with the draw here, drawing into any monster that can be special summoned by banishing the level 1 tuner, put it in defense position with the Boral Sword, and I'm completely back in the duel. So again, a very solid ride. Sadly, I can't go for, at least I can't get rid of the token to special summon another effect monster, and you know, setting up the level 3 in the graveyard, and yeah, it's just barbar, right? Barbar range definitely screwed me over here. Last example, the opponent starts off this time, and this is definitely a good hand. I mean, if I'm going first, having Terraforming to search out a field spell, let me use all of their effects during your opponent's turn. The Sky Striker engine, searching out a token, lefty, righty driver shenanigans. I mean, this would have been a super solid field if it wasn't for the Thunder. I believe what's it called, the Super Bolt Thunder Dragon again prevent me from getting Searches and Makaba as well. So this is pretty much like already sealed the deal. And as I mentioned before, I mean, going first, if the opponent doesn't have a hand trap, you can definitely do a lot of shenanigans. If your opponent has the hand trap, you need Called by the Grave. So that's one of the reasons why I think I want to put this deck at 40 cards sharp, but again, it's hard to drop cards from the main deck. So like always, feel free to leave suggestions. The archetype definitely has a lot of potential, but again, you need to run other engines like Sky Striker, Lefty Righty, and Armageddonite Destrudo. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.